Good morning, it's 7:30 a.m. in Houston. I'm walking next to a gas center, which is a pretty busy street. So I apologize for the sounds. But at least you can hear some of the birds. So I woke up this morning at 6 a.m. That's just what time. The energy woke me up. I like taking Epsom salt baths if I get up super early like that before I start the day. It just feels like it starts the day off right. And I make a cup of coffee and I go sit in the bathtub, and then I read some more of the book Shaman, Healer, Sage. And that's part of my homework before I see this new shaman healer, which I've known about her for years, and I've always put it off. Like, the timing wasn't ready, I made up excuses, it's expensive, all this stuff, right? And so I call her up a couple weeks ago, telling her that I'm in this apprenticeship and I think I have more soul retrieval I need to do, and just, keep the healing process going. And she gives me homework. I was like, what a teacher thing to do, right? All right, well, you're an apprenticeship. Well, you're going to read this book. She did tell me only the first couple chapters, but because that's what she practices. She practices that kind of work. So she wanted me to learn more about it. What I'm learning is core shamanism, which is just the overarching theme of what all the shamanic practices have in common, and getting that down. I had a dream yesterday morning. I woke up, I had seen my dad, and he was telling me basically to focus on one thing. Like, I have all these ideas in my head and you gotta focus on one thing. You can only do one right now, at least. He didn't say right now, but he said you could only do one. So I was like, okay. I feel like that's specific and general at the same time, but it reminded me that specialization is very important, right? We can't all be everything, especially me. So I'm already 34, just started my healing process like deeply 5 years ago. So I just started getting the ball rolling really this year with allowing myself to go do things and explore things and really learn outside of just books, right? In-person learning with a teacher, which is what I've always wanted, with people around me. I found my tribe. I found the people who I connect with and the community that I connect with. And now it's just about doing the work at the same time as learning, just continuing to open up and explore and learn and heal, and hoping to come out on the other side just like this bright, luminous soul that is running around doing the things that she needs to do. And I've already had a vision of what that looks like. It's really cool. So I had a friend walk me through a visualization about seeing my best self, or I can't remember now, but I saw her walking down one of these paths, just like outside my door. And she's walking and she has like this side look, and she's looking at me and she's smiling, and her hair's down and she's wearing a poncho, and she's off to do work. She's off to do the healing work for somebody, and she's done enough for herself that she feels confident to do that. And so she had me go into this exercise where I walk into her, but and try to meld and try to already claim her, and it didn't work. So then I bound that energy to a shell. And so I keep that shell with me in my backpack. And I'm sure when I feel called to do it, I will unbound it, or however you do it. Or maybe I'll just put it close to my heart and just press it in and meld it that way. But that was a really cool exercise that my friend had me do. What else this morning? Oh, so a couple weeks ago when I did have my shaman healing session for my instructor, which was my first shaman healing session, and I've been obsessed with shaman healing forever, and yet every single time I tried to do it, it was either me putting my own blocks up or I would get a very massive migraine, so it just wasn't the right timing. So I finally got an official healing, and it was only about an hour, and it was great. She opened sacred space, and we talked about things, and just things were flowing. I saw a past life of mine of either me as the mother or me as the child being invaded. Very traumatic. Screaming, the village is screaming, and we died. And the child was crying out to her mom, or his mom. And there's a lot of motherly energy going on in that healing session. It's been hard for me to connect with unconditional love. I feel like that's just part of my luminous energy field imprint process, which is from the book from this morning. And so I got this crystal because she recommended me get a new quartz crystal to contain the vibration of universal love energy, because that is something that flows through you when you're doing anything. But I think healing work, specifically shaman work, maybe other kinds of work, I don't know. And so this is my little quartz heart I got from Etsy. It's super tiny, but you already know the size doesn't matter for things. And I love it. Every time I put it on now, I just feel so emboldened and alive and empowered. And then I put on my snake bone, I think it's carnelian on the very bottom, earrings this morning too. And I'm just walking with my power animal this morning, and it just felt great, right? So what else? If you're on a healing process or healing journey and you're still stuck with books, you've done some work with maybe some crystals, you've read some books, you have lots of knowledge in your head, but you've never applied it, I would suggest to find a healer. And in many ways, it could look very different. So with me, I wait for someone to recommend somebody, or I get an email, or I run into them, or something like that, something very old school. But if you're really good at research and you feel really drawn and called to a page, like, just do that. But it is really hard to walk in this world on a healing path without somebody helping you. I've read in books that you can do it alone. You can do the shaman work alone. And you can learn all those things and go out and do whatever it is you're going to do and just be powerful that way. But if you truly know that you're stuck, or you know you haven't been able to do as much as you could be doing, you get a sense of like you're stalling out, or you're not seizing the day every day, right? But you know that there's more work to be done. Anyways, you would know if you were called to get one. You can just feel it, you can sense it, like, I need help, right? Whether that's an actual therapist, counselor, healer type, friend. It could come in so many forms, right? Doctor form. I'm not just telling people to go do XYZ for XYZ reasons. That's diagnosing. But it's okay to seek help, and it's okay to find somebody to help you. You just keep asking for those signs, or you keep looking, right? So, I don't know, I've been on here for 10 minutes. I feel like that's kind of a long time for me. So, I think I'm gonna take a break. I hope that sometimes when I'm doing these videos that I don't get in trouble or I don't get negative comments, but I'm sure that probably will happen because I'm still learning and YouTube is new for me. So am I going to be affected by negative comments? No, not personally. I always will look at that and think about, okay, like how could I do that better, or, you know, constructively. Okay. And so I welcome everything. I'll use everything that comes to me. All right. Well, I'm going to continue on my walk here, listen to my book. And I hope everyone has a great day. You know, if you can, try to get out and go get into nature. It's very refreshing. It's very grounding, right? Stick your feet like on the physical grass if you can, trying to avoid dog poop, right? I can't really ground too much physically with my feet in this area because there's always a possibility of pee and poop. Now, will it hurt me or will I die? No. I just gotta stick my foot back in my sandal and then go back home, and then, you know, cats will smell it, or husband will be like, what the hell is that? So what I like to do instead is ground myself on the cement or this rock path, or like a stump or a tree root. I feel like that's just a little bit safer, maybe not, but or just physically touching the trees. I usually go up and put my hands on the trees if I can, if I'm feeling pretty brave. I have been stopped by a guard once already. What are you doing over there? This is a feminine tree. My friend taught me to go up to the trees and figure out if this is a male or female energy tree. And he goes, okay. I'm like, oh, that tree over there is the male tree, in case you wanted to know. He just smiled and just kept walking. I either illuminated him for future use or completely disturbed him, but at least I did it. I have a client who loves trees just like me, because they're both like earth elements, and she goes up to the trees right in front of a police station, and she just doesn't care, and that's always inspired me, that she can do it in front of like something perceived as scary or intense. Alright, I'm gonna go. Alright, have a lovely day.